What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. And, you know, the one thing that's consistent with every single DEI takeover, whether it's the comics or the movies or the TV shows or games, is that they always, almost always, without fail, they double down. They cannot help but double down because to admit they were wrong would be to admit that their ideology is wrong. And, oh, they can't do that. Oh boy, so here we go. Xbox doubles down on DEI agenda following Sweet Baby Inc. backlash. And there's a lot of backlash, and everyone is reacting in their own ways, from trying to hide to, again, the famous double down attack of going after the fans. Gaming for everyone. So here we have the Game Developers Conference, which has given us goodies. Trust us, this next week we're going to have all the videos of them talking, but the Game Developers Conference has now come to a close, but many of the topics that were discussed there remain a mystery for now. Following right on the heels of the Sweet Baby Inc. backlash, the GDC could not have been scheduled at a more inopportune time for DEI activists in the game industry. While much of the conference still revolved around the seminars discussing gender identity, inclusivity, many more presenters managed to avoid any further controversy. For the Xbox head of gaming for everyone and sustainability, Katie Jo Wright, that was not the case. And yes, we also saw all those devs. I think there was up to 50 of them screaming up at the skies, all to rage against us, essentially, and patriarchy and all those other fun boogeymen that they think are constantly chasing them. In an interview at the GDC with Games Industry, the Xbox DEI Hall monitor would explain her thought process regarding controversial topics such as representation and inclusion, much akin to the ideological beliefs that consultation companies like Sweet Baby Inc. have employed. Oh, it's almost like what Erwin and I are saying, that all of these places are already fully corrupted and saturated with DEI before Sweet Baby Inc. even comes near them, and then they make it even worse. While much of this interview was draped in broader concepts of globalization and accessibility, the Xbox exec did her best to avoid the topic of Sweet Baby Inc. and Gamergate 2, as some has labeled it. Everyone has labeled it Gamergate 2 because it is, in fact, Gamergate 2. And if you want to get technical, it's still Gamergate 1 because the tactics are the same and a lot of the filthy, dirty, bad actors are still the same. Hi, Anita Sarkeesian. The Gaming for Everyone team began in 2015 with the stated goal being to bring gaming to everyone on the planet. What we found in the early days of Gaming for Everyone is that people, even internally, got inspired by the idea. Katie Jo Wright said, and we saw teams who went on and did things that brought it to life, like the Xbox Adaptive Controller. But we wanted to see it consistently across the organization. So my team went on this listening tour inside Xbox to understand what was going on and how people were making it real and keeping it real. That is how we discovered people were inspired by Gaming for Everyone. Bullshit. But they didn't know how to translate that into their own day-to-day. It was, if I'm not a decision maker determining what hardware we build, how do I make it real? We were like, because our messaging was around how it is up to each of us to make decisions every day, to bring this intentionally to include. It was doing that learning that set us onto another journey to create what is now the Product Inclusion Framework. All right. Then they said they were doubling down. So the Product Inclusion Framework, as the name implies, is a DEI toolkit that Xbox plans to put in the hands of developers across the world in order to insert the message into their games. While Katie Jo Wright did her best to maintain the appearance that this was a completely optional, and just something designed to reach a larger audience, history would advise us to take every word she said with a massive truckload of salt. And there's one thing we ain't short on, and that's salt. Am I right or am I right? The fact that Xbox Game Studios is a client of Sweet Baby Inc. is also a reason to press X to doubt. We started doing this because as developers, we want to get our games played by as many people as possible. It's all about expanding reach. The Xbox DEI boss continued, when you talk to a developer, do you want to limit how many people play your game? No. That's how we think about it. And then you go and you double down, you do shit that 100% limits the amount of people that play the game. Each developer gets to make their decision for themselves over who they want to expand their player reach. 2, the framework is not a checklist. I don't believe you. The framework is not a checklist. The Xbox executive would eventually claim it's not a mandate. Even internally, it's not that at all. It's just a way for you to get your game into the hands of more players in a meaningful way. No amount of adding gay or black characters is suddenly going to make gay and black people play video games. If people aren't interested in video games, pandering like this isn't going to make them interested in the video game, just like it didn't make them interested in the movies that you continuously infest it with, and then they fail, and then you go, what happened? It's not about opening every door for every type of game, because that could make the game vanilla. It's not. Oh, hi, Starfield. It's not about making every game for everyone. It's about making gaming for everybody, which it already was for everybody. It's about how we can bring that level of intentionality so you as a developer can make the right decision for your experience. We will connect you to a bunch of different resources so that people are aware and can make an informed decision about their game. When asked about this uprising in the gaming industry that was sparked by Sweet Baby Inc. attempting to shut down a Steam curator page. Shout out to Brutus Rambo, who is over 300,000 following that simple Steam curation page, which all it does is point out a link to Sweet Baby Inc. if it exists. And again, if they were so proud of this, you think they would be very happy at this free publicity. Her response was as tepid as you would imagine it to be. The more that we can talk about the good that gaming can bring and the impact, gay. Yeah, no, didn't answer it at all. And give that the energy in the spotlight. Yes, there's a threshold when there's harassment, of which Sweet Baby Inc. is responsible. We need to be very aware of that in terms of safety and making our beliefs clear. So you probably should tell Sweet Baby Inc. to stop trying to dox people. During the interview, she presented a survey that purports 75% of gamers feel diversity in characters and stories is extremely important. Show me who fucking you asked that. Show me the 71% of gamers that you asked that question, because I don't know one gamer that would answer. Even black, gay, or any woman gamer that would fucking say that, yeah, super important for diversity in the story. Clear majority of players value that. The Xbox senior director claimed the clear majority of players that you asked. And we just know that to be true as humans, okay, the article doesn't reveal what survey, right? She pulled this statistic from probably her ass. It was very possibly could have been a survey conducted by a DES-obsessed consultation company firm like Sweet Baby Inc. Yes, the Xbox DEI enforcer would go on to personify everything that is wrong with the game media and gaming industry as a whole. Miss Wright used the example of barely known Xbox Game Pass title called Vinba to show that there is an attempt to reach a global audience rather. Even if people don't play it, she said, knowing it's there makes them feel like they belong. Bullshit! Didn't even know I have Game Pass. I didn't even know it exists. This is yet again an example of how out of touch corporate America is with the average gamer, who cares little about the ESG funding that is fueling the DEI push in this gaming. The final thing the Xbox DEI director said in this interview is, without a doubt, the most foreboding is if you don't intentionally include, you will unintentionally exclude. Katie Jo Wright said, that is how we are as human beings. There's no shame in that. If you want to include, you have to be intentional about that. This intentional inclusion has led to what is arguably a larger uprising than Gamergate was a decade ago, or a far more successful one. Ideologically possessed companies like Sweet Baby Inc., which has worked hand in hand with Xbox Game Studios, do not seek to simply reach a larger audiences. Sweet Baby Inc. and its DEI-driven ilk seek to exclude the majority of the games industry's customer base and replace them with an imaginary group of people who don't play games. Forced inclusion and diversity have actually created less of both. And I would say you could apply, as I said earlier, the exact same thought process and result to Hollywood. Made by people who don't really love the movies and the source material, for a group of people that never were going to really love and watch the source material, and you alienated your core demographics thinking you could replace us, but you can't, which is why you're losing all the money, and the ESG money is drying up, because all the people that actually buy money, that actually use their money and buy shit and go and see your products, you alienated them. You told them to go F off. As a great developer once said, a game for everyone is a game for no one. A movie for everyone is a movie for no one. It's the same shit, Panderstone. The more game studios that follow suit, abandon the woke messaging, and focus on creating great games, the more inclusive things will actually be. DEI initiatives do nothing but destroy any common ground gamers used to share, and Helldivers is showing the common ground right now. No agenda in that beyond spreading freedom and democracy. And the memes and the satire. DEI is the modern day religion, and the church is corporate America. Now that's a fucking quote. DEI is the modern day religion, and the church is the corporate America. That's right. That's right. Cultural Marxism. It's what it is. Sorry. And neo-Marxism. Yeah. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this. But like we say always, they double down. They double down because to admit they were wrong and to course correct would be to upset their masters. And also, a lot of them actually do. We was on Saturday Night Hypnosis, and Spoon was on there. Aristocratic Spoon. He's a fun one, but he was talking about, no, none of them believe this. No, bullshit. Yeah, some of the demons don't believe it, but a large portion of these people actually believe this is good, and they think they're helping. They have fooled themselves into think they're doing good with this, and they are not. As Elon Musk says, many of these companies who claim to be doing good or think they're doing good are in fact doing evil, and we need to call them out on it. So I hope you're calling them out on it too. I know you are. And just watching these videos, please make sure to like, share, and sub. Liking is the only way the algorithm shows this to anyone. So please be sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.